Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Okay, so I'm actually in the middle, in between class and office hours. So I just wanted to, you know, I am so excited that I got up at least early enough. I'm still late, but I still got up a little bit early enough to come and speak with you soon. Okay, so this morning, it's a lot going on, so I'll try to rush through. Again, my It Works journey. So, I'm trying to get my face together. I was like, I can start, putting on a little bit of makeup, just a little blush. I have the foundation. I have all the stuff that I can do. I just don't particularly I just prefer just a little bit of blush, and I don't need to do all that extra stuff, nor do I have the patience for it sometimes. Like occasionally I will, but not enough. And I used to do pressing powder. Like, I really do like pressing powder. But anyway, the It Works applicator that I apply once a week. Can't do it more than once a week, just for my tummy. I told you that I've lost 1 dress size, so I am on a roll. I think my face is getting a little, just a little slimmer. My arms are slimming down a little bit, so that I'm pleased. I can increase my progress if I actually worked out longer, worked out more intensely. But I am eating a little bit, I would say 50% better. I could do better, and I acknowledge that. Team getting rid of stuff out of the kitchen. So I have my prune juice, and you know what? Actually, it'll be done tomorrow, or I can't drink it 2 days in a row, but I could do it because but I could do it every other day, and it should be gone this week, just like the VA juice. I actually like prune juice. I'm an anomaly. I like prune juice. Prune juice is actually pretty tasty. So that doesn't really bother me. Today is a super reds day. So I have my bottle of water. It's pretty cold. Granted, you can drink it when it's warm, but I'm gonna tell you that it tastes way better cold. So definitely drink it down before you mix it. I do have an egg for breakfast. I don't use any oil or anything when I make an egg. I actually even like boiled eggs. But this morning I did fry it. I didn't use any oil in my egg. And then I mix my It Works together. And I'm always looking for someone who wants to partner up on their weight loss journey, or maybe just getting fit, even if it's not a weight loss journey, just to keep everything together for yourself. So as I'm mixing this one, look, bottled water right now. There was a sale at Vons. There is a sale right now on Vons for bottled water at $1.99. So that's why you get the Vons brand at the moment. So, okay. I told you yesterday I don't like chai tea. I don't. But I'm gonna try it, and I already am like, dude, I prefer my keto coffee. I am going to do the skinny brew, so I'm all there for my skinny brew. so I'm not upset with having it. It definitely gives a bit of a recharge, so I'm not disputing it, but tastes like black coffee. So, but again, if you drink it on the rocks. Now, here's the thing. For those of you who do not like keto coffee, then the skinny brew, because sometimes people don't like the they don't like the foam, the kind of thing, and that keto coffee has, and sometimes like the aftertaste, stuff like that. And so I highly recommend you go ahead and do skinny brew, because it has none of that. Like, it doesn't taste like that at all. It is completely, perfectly just like a black cup of coffee. So and so it's just my taste buds in regards to, like, I tend to go for stuff sweet. And so my chai tea, gosh, it's already 6 minutes in. And my chai tea looks like milk. So it's pretty kind of interesting, and it smells absolutely delicious. So I'm not kind of even upset at that at all. I may even have my mom drink a little bit of it, and it foams up. Like, it's actually pretty, I don't know if you can see it, but it actually looks pretty good. And pouring it in, I'm gonna have my mom try it, because she totally is a tea person, but she made it. If it tastes more like milk, I don't know. Well, we'll see what it tastes like. And I made a parfait. I am in love with, like, these cups. I actually had a student who bought me a set of cups, who bought me these cups, and I really, really like it. I think it's really cool that my students can be as thoughtful, right? Bananas, strawberries. I love strawberries on top of parfait. I actually love the taste of bananas and vanilla yogurt. Okay, is that it for everything? I think that's it for everything. Okay. Okay, so the shy. I've been saying that I've been liking this episode of The Shy, and just the season of The Shy. And some of you reach out like, oh my gosh, I haven't even started The Shy. So I'm like, well, yeah, it's 3 seasons in, but that's okay. 3 seasons in, is at least the seasons aren't long. So, I mean, go for what you know. By the way, it works, elizabethwalker.itworks.com. It does work. You just need to be consistent, and at least take the moment to dedicate to yourself. And your dedication to yourself, you will see yourself improve. You'll feel better, you'll be more energized, you'll be just overall healthier, and that's the thing. My husband doesn't. I would love for him to I'm gonna try to force it on him a little bit, especially when he's on his way to the golf course, which he is right now. He's a morning bird. He's up at 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock every morning. Doesn't matter what time he goes to bed. Yeah. I don't dislike it. I still prefer coffee over the chai tea. But it's okay. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna still have my skinny tea today, skinny coffee. Anywho, what was I telling you? Okay, so the shy. I am really enjoying the kids' evolution, and I think that the kids are completely growing up. I don't like how I don't like the fact that I appreciate the level of class that they're trying to intertwine here, but I don't like how the kids are somewhat kind of picking on her for being wealthy. She can't help her affluent lifestyle. She was born into it. And on the other hand, I get kids are cruel, and so I can't get completely upset, but I just don't like it. That's it. On the other hand, um, um, I think it's kind of interesting that Ronnie's finally trying to get his life together, and it takes like a journey on within himself. I think the thing that bothers me the most is I'm really, really disappointed in how Sonny. I just don't understand why he didn't talk to Sonny. And because Sonny could use the extra hustle, like why would you keep it from Sonny to use his kitchen? And you're bringing in the food, you're doing all this extra stuff. You could give him money, you can give him a kickback. Like, I don't understand why it was so important to keep this such a huge secret. Like, none of that makes sense to me. And so I'm a little annoyed at how he behaved, and now he's completely and utter, like, I'm gonna need you to come to him as a man and beg. Men beg. And by the way, like, I'm counting down to when he decides to start sleeping with her. Because this whole I love you and bae, and he may not have said bae, but in my head he said bae. I like The Chi. I think The Chi on Showtime is really good. And the one thing I did want to talk about, okay, so she is kidnapped, and I think if it's not the coach that she used to date, then it's someone involved with the coach, or like on the coach's staff. The problem I have is, okay, I have been a minor at one point in my life, right? And I actually have a pattern of dating people older than me, but I still like the notion of dating someone within my age bracket. So this idea of like the thought never occurred to me to be 16 and dating like a 30-year-old. But I will say that dating somebody when they're 16 and they have a car and they may have some type of job that's not like an entry level, that's not fast food, was something that was desirable, right? So, but I had a car in high school, and when I went to college, dating somebody who may have an entry level job, who just graduated from college, is something that was attractive. But the concept of dating somebody who's like mid-level manager, who's like 15 to 20 years older than me, is something that I could not do. Now, I've had friends who did this, and it didn't end well. None of them. And I mean, and I'm a supportive person. Like, I was like, man, we should have did big background checks on these guys. But I also will say this about, see, in high school I didn't take many risks. College I did, and I am much more, and I've said this so many times, like too many times, that I am grateful for even the trifling men that I was around in college when it comes to amongst the frats, because there have been moments that I can list the moments that come to my mind, that I could have easily been a rape victim, and simply because of how trusting I was. So when I watch her, and she was dating this older guy, and in a young kid's head, they don't think that this guy is a predator, a sexual predator. But in fact, her former track coach that she was dating last season was a former, in my head, you're a predator. Because there is nothing attractive of being a 30-year-old guy, 30-plus-year-old grown man. There is nothing attractive with a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old. And the thing is it may be sexual, I get that, but after sex, there ain't anything to talk about. You can't, like, what are we talking about? Bus fare? She's never had a job. What are we talking about? Katie said something to me at school that I didn't like. The rumor starting, like, I can't have a conversation with a with a 17-year-old and take her seriously. Like, I mean, dating a 17-year-old just boggles my mind. Like, I cannot. And I think I've said this before. Like, my husband, he coaches sometimes he coaches at different schools, and one of them was a junior high, and she kept being involved with like a 20-plus-year-old, like a 22, 25, and kept running away with these guys. And it's just like, in my 20s, I didn't want to be with someone who was in high school. What would I have in common with a person in junior high? They just finished puberty, and their voice may not have completely changed. Their body's developing. Like, they're not even like, no. Like, just no. Like, their baby face is still there. Like, it's just absolutely, like, I got bills. What is a 13-year-old going to do about these bills? And I'm taking care. I don't want. Like, I'm looking forward to my 2 kids leaving the house. I'm going to bring another kid in the house? Absolutely not. Like, no. So when I watch this, it's just like, this is the danger that young girls, more so than young boys, I'm not saying boys don't have this, but this is the danger of young people in general. You are not able to see the consequences of your decision. You're not able to see the danger of your decision. You're so trapped up and wrapped up in this possibility of how exciting and being grown. And it's like, there is nothing exciting about being an adult. Nothing. So, in the sense of, like, what are you doing? And it's just like, so and she's understanding the complete danger of what this is. And by the way, there is this movement called that's happening on Instagram, and it's different predominantly white institutions that are doing these hashtags. Well, students at these predominantly white institutions, Black at, and then they list like Black at Amherst, and there is a Black at Pepperdine one. And I can't tell you how heartbreaking it is, and I'm even reading some of these. And so yesterday morning, I was just covered in tears and just drenched in tears about it. And and I was really overwhelmed with emotion from reading it. And I shared some of my stories. And the thing about it is, some of this stuff was so triggering. I reached out to a couple of friends that I went to college with, and I was like, "Are you reading this? Do you see it?" One of them, he saw, and he was reading it, and he was like, "I am so triggered," and he's like, "I don't even know what to really share." And the other one, he was like, I haven't seen this. He looked it up and he was like, oh my gosh. And that's kind of how I felt. I did not hang out at Pepperdine very much. The most that I hung out is in freshman year. So when all the different racial problems racist incidents that I had in my junior and senior year, most of them was much more pertaining to in classroom experiences or on study abroad programs. And so it's just kind of a funny thing because they were so overt that I couldn't ignore it, versus freshman year I had many more more racist incidents that took place in day-to-day interaction. Because I really thought in my head that I was going to have these lifelong friends, because, I thought, college, I absolutely in my head thought that college was going, because my mother didn't live in a dorm. She went to a commuter college. So her college experience was definitely going to be different from mine. And so I wanted to live on campus. Like, she wanted me to live on campus. Like, we were there, right? And in my head, one of my favorite shows is A Different World. So I just believed that it didn't matter if I went to an HBCU or a predominantly white institution, that I was going to have these lifelong friendships that I had from college. And I was kind of stunned that those were not going to happen when I was at college. So the lifelong friendships that I had, I have a few from Pepperdine, but I didn't realize, and now that I've graduated, I didn't realize how many different people I missed out on knowing, and maybe I hope to have known. And it's kind of a bummer that I think of college as living on the margins. And I'm wondering, because I graduated with Tia and Tamara, and I wondered how they felt in regards to their, because they were celebrities, but even when George Foreman's, one of the Foremans, and Georgette, even with their level of celebrity dumb, primarily because of their father, they struggled with racist incidents. Tia and Tamara, I can't answer that. They seem to have. They always had a crowd of people around them. They always had. It was rare that you saw them, alone. Even though the campus is like super small, it's small compared to other major universities. I don't know. The undergraduate is what I mean. I don't know. But anyway, I'll put the hashtag and I'll put the @ in Instagram. So maybe if you're interested in reading it, but like I said, it's a trigger, and I'm kind of, it's traumatizing. And I think as a parent, it does make you sit and evaluate, like, are you even really interested in having your kids attend a predominantly white institution? And the more and more, at first I was like, yeah, I'm all in, and I definitely am going to have them do summer abroad programs and study around in different universities so they can have different exposure. But I am definitely moving more and more close to nurturing them in a HBCU. Yes, they're going to have problems. Yes, they're going to be teased. Yes, I get all that. But they also, I don't know, college can be a traumatizing experience, and I just don't want, and it's also when you become an adult, you're transitioning into adulthood, and finding yourself. And so I think that those experiences leaves very large imprints on how you see the world as an adult. So I would like for them to see, for them to have a different experience than when I went to college. Even though my kids walking around with Pepperdine shirts on, they've been to Pepperdine a lot, just like how I was as an undergrad. I mean, how I was as a kid growing up, when I would go to Pepperdine a lot because my mother went there as a grad student. So I mean, it's just it's complicated. It's complicated. Anyhow, on that note, I was going to talk about another show that comes right after The Shy called Outcry. Let's talk about Outcry tomorrow, because I am very I have a different take on Outcry. And I guess we could do Outcry and Entanglement tomorrow. Have a great afternoon, and I will see you tomorrow, most likely tomorrow morning, with either chai tea or skinny brew, one of the two. Have a great afternoon. Bye.